Yo, what's good, YouTube? This is Jay from TNJ. What a surprise last week. We beat Houston. We didn't just beat them, we beat them down. So looking at our side of the conference, we kind of have an okay schedule going forward. We go against Cincinnati, then UConn, BYU, and Navy. But if you look at where they're ranked, Cincinnati's 2-5 overall, but they're 2-1 in conference. So really, if we beat them, we kind of have a path to the conference championship, because then we own the tiebreaker between Cincinnati and Houston. And then on the other side of the bracket, look who's set up to go to the championship right now. UCF, who beat us. They're 3-0 in conference. Look at this. Look at their points for 157 to points against 221. But they're 3-4 at this point. But if you look at their losses, they lost to LSU out of conference, UNLV out of conference. They got destroyed by UNLV, but then all their losses are out of conference. They're taking care of business inside the conference. So I'd say them and Army. Remember, Army ended up losing last week to USF. I told you that was a decent team. So we kind of have a path to go to the conference championship. I really hope UCF keeps winning, because I want that rematch. So if we look at the top 25, let's just look around the NCAA, see where the rest of the teams are at. So Washington's undefeated. It seems like Washington's always that team that's undefeated in the Pac-12. Let's look. Do they still have Jake Browning there? I probably do, yeah. So 18-5 for Jake Browning. And they still have Gaskin and McClatcher. They still have these guys there. Alabama's right behind them. Penn State. Texas is undefeated at this point. Let's just look. So they do have Shane Buechele at quarterback. So they do have a bunch of tough matchups. It's always tough for these top teams to actually finish the season undefeated. The only team that I really see finish undefeated every year is probably Alabama. Washington is usually there at the end. Ohio State's pretty close, but they have a tough Big Ten. So now if we keep going down the line, these are the guys we're catching. We're trying to catch. So, we don't have any votes to be ranked at this point. Look at Western Kentucky, though. Western Kentucky is 8-0. They are taking care of business at this point, and they even beat Houston. So, it looks like they might have a path to go undefeated. They played New Mexico State University, and they're 6-2. So, they're not a really good team, and they're doing well. So, we don't have any votes. If we look at the votes, we don't have any to get ranked, but maybe if we keep winning, we'll earn that spot. So this week we're going up against Cincinnati, and Cincinnati, they're okay. They're 2-5. They're probably rated higher overall than us. But if you look at their schedule, they've lost some. They've lost some okay games. They lost by a touchdown to Middle Tennessee, but they got blown out by Ohio State, which was expected. But in the beginning, they got blown out by BYU. So it seems like they're an up and down team. So let's just take a quick look at a couple recruits that I did add. I did lose Trey Jefferson to Army, so going to a cross conference rival in our conference. But I just want to show you guys a couple of recruits I have here. So Jamel Cooley was a guy that I found on the board last week. Look at his skills: 89 speed, 94 excel. He has defensive skills. Look at this: player recognition at 80. Tackling's only at 64, but man covered at 73, zone at 77. So, he looks like a cornerback just because his tackling is kind of lower, but look at his offensive skills. He is a beast. 80 catching, 85 route running, 80 release. And you're thinking, how is he rated 81 overall? Well, look at this, man. This guy is a Randy Moss clone. 6 feet 4, 225 pounds. I don't know if that's a Randy Moss clone, but that's a big dude. If we get him, we finally have that number one outside receiver. Remember, we don't really have that, but look at him. He's a gem, and he went up plus 10 overall, so I had to add him to the board. Dylan Mack is another guy. He's 82 speed, so I liked him. And one of the last guys I added, another guard. There's no lineman in the prospect system. I couldn't find any good linemen at all. So this is the best guy I could find. 69 overall, 77 run block, 85 excel. So let's hop into this game, man. Cincinnati, another conference game. We need to knock them off so that they get off our backs in our division. So let's hop into it. Let's go.
Who is going to finally stop this, man? Is it going to be Cincinnati? They have been struggling a little bit, but I mean, we can't take any of these games lightly. We're in the middle of conference play, and this is around the time when you start to get sluggish as a team because we are rolling at the moment. But I mean, when you get into these games where the team might not be as good, you don't really bring your all. So we got to come out killing it. I mean, honestly, we just got to come out firing. So early on in this game, Ashton Cohen rolling out to the right side, getting the first down close to the 40-yard line. So on the next play, a couple of plays later, Alex Brown getting the handoff up the middle for a 4-yard gain. But on a 3rd and 6, play action to Alex Brown. He's going to get it to the freshman Kevin Oliver over the middle, and he is Mr. Reliable for us because he just runs good routes. He catches the ball. I mean, he doesn't do too much, doesn't have that much speed, but he just gets it done. So Alex Brown breaks it to the outside on the counter for the 24-yard run, 33 yards rushing on this first drive alone. But on a 1st and goal, Ashton is taking a sack that time, and that is going to be the first of a couple sacks here. On a 3rd and goal, the Cincinnati defense comes up big. We had a 1st and goal on like the 5-yard line, ends up being like a 40-yard field goal. So it is 3-0 here in this first quarter, and they have Moore as their quarterback. He's rolling out, running over defender, getting tackled there for the 8-yard gain. So on a 2nd and 2, here he is handing off to Warren the third, and Warren's gonna break free on this one, break a couple tackles, break another tackle. And Anthony Jetter's going to finally get him down. And Warren, I mean, he just beasting on that run. But here we are getting in for the sack this time on Moore. This time it's Nunez who gets in to spell the middle linebacker position. And that's why it's important to have 3 middle linebackers in the 3-4 defense, because a lot of times when the other offense is running hurry-ups, your linebackers get tired. So there's a lot of times when your 3rd string middle linebackers get in and they get a lot of playing time. So here we are back on offense, facing a 3rd and 13. Cohen tries to get it to Rodgers. Rodgers cannot get to the first down, but it's a 4th and 3. So I'm going to go for it. I'm being a little gritty on this one, but I barely get the first down. Alex Brown for the 6-yard gain. So here we are at the beginning of the second quarter. 3rd and 10 once again, but Cohen can't escape this time. We get sacked, and this Cincinnati defensive line is just dominating up front. I mean, our offensive line cannot hold them. But here Warren is back on offense, breaking a couple tackles. Somehow he gets out of that big mush of guys, and he breaks a long one that time. Michael Warren, he's actually the 2nd. I said the 3rd earlier. Michael Warren the 2nd. He runs for a big gainer, gets in for the touchdown. So I can't let Alex Brown get shown out here. We got to give him some carries, get him involved in this game. On a 1st and 10, though, throwing a deep pass is Cohen, and Chad Baugh makes the great leaping grab on that one. A rare deep throw that time by Cohen, and he's had a couple in the last couple games that have been pretty much on the money. And Chad Baugh finally getting involved in this offense. I've been kind of waiting. I mean, he's obviously our special team ace, but I mean, I've recruited him specifically so that he can make plays on offense, but he hasn't done that up to this point. But Glenn Hall, the senior, gets in for the 13-yard run to the left side that time, breaking it outside. And this is a 10-10 game. Nobody saw this coming. We didn't think this was going to be a good game. But Cincinnati shows up, and Lewis Parker absolutely destroys Moore on that one. So on a 3rd and 8, attempting to throw the ball is Moore one more time, but he gives it to his tight end, Cohen, on the tackle that time. So, man, they know the rules. Do not kick it to Chad Baugh because he's going to break it to the outside, get past the 50-yard line, and get pushed out of bounds at the 45-yard line after a pretty good 33-yard return. And we're going to start out this next possession, giving the ball to Alex Brown a couple of times, and here he is breaking another gainer. This time it's 12 yards, so he's going to have close to 100 yards early in this game. And here he is getting involved in the receiving game, and he's just getting fed this drive. Here he is one more time, getting the handoff on a 3rd and 3, moving the stick. So now there's under a minute left in this half. On a 2nd and 7, Ashton Cohen's going to have a clean pocket, roll out to the right, throw right to Kevin Oliver on the sideline that time. He almost let it too far inside, but luckily Kevin Oliver has those hands to hold on to the ball. So Warren and the Cincinnati offense come back out, and they can't do anything. So we actually force him to punt, and now we have about 27 seconds left in this half, and we have enough time to drive. Remember, the clock stops when you move the chains in college, so every time we get a first down, we don't have to use a timeout. We just hurry up, get to the line. So we end up getting into good enough field position to try the long field goal, and Adam Davis comes through with the long field goal. Man, is he reliable. He has been so reliable this year. I don't think he's actually missed a field goal. But coming out in the second half, Warren is getting the ball, Michael Warren that is, and he's getting across the 50-yard line. And on the next play, here he is one more time. He just has good vision. He's just finding the open hole. He's not doing too much. He's doing just enough. But on a 3rd and 9, attempting to go deep, Josh Dunbar almost comes up with the interception. So they come out to kick a field goal, and this one's going to be wide left. So the Cincinnati special teams unit cannot get it done for the offense, who, I mean, is doing a pretty good job at this point. Warren's doing a hell of a job running the ball, and the offensive line is doing a good job of blocking. But here on offense, we're not doing much either. I mean, Alex Brown is breaking a couple of runs, but I mean, we're not really doing too much. We have 20 points on the board. I feel like we should have more at this point. But, I mean, I got to give it up to the defensive line of Cincinnati. They are doing a hell of a job. And what is Kamara Rivera doing on that one? He gives up a deep pass play. Look at this. I don't even know what that was. I mean, he just absolutely just like let the guy come back, catch it, and didn't even try to deflect it. And you know what happens. Warren's going to capitalize off of that one, get into the end zone. So now it's only a 3-point game. And, I mean, our offense, like I said, isn't really doing that much up to this point. So we got to put some points up on the board. So it's 3 minutes left in this third quarter, 2nd and 10. And here's Ben Miller getting a drag across the middle. And look at that pitch to Alex Brown. They did not see that one coming. Look at this one more time. Ben Miller gets the ball, pitches to Alex Brown. Look at that perfect timing on that pitch. I mean, absolutely perfect chemistry between Ben Miller and Alex Brown. And look at Alex Brown, man. If he's not in the Heisman race, if he's not one of the top freshman running backs in the nation, I don't know what he is, because he's pulling all of the tricks out of his bag. And to finish this drive, the senior Glenn Hall getting in for the touchdown. And Glenn Hall is doing a pretty good job of spelling Alex Brown, because Alex Brown does get tired, because I do give him the ball quite a bit. But, I mean, Glenn Hall, I can't say enough about him. But here we are, man. Our defense is finally showing up. Our defensive line, it is not just Cincinnati that's doing well. So we come back out on offense. Finding Herman Rodgers is Ashton Cohen on the sideline that time. So facing a 3rd and 9 past the 50-yard line, Ashton Cohen going to feel the pressure from the right side, roll out of the pocket, and get this one thrown away. So the Cincinnati defense forces a 4th down. It's a 4th and 9, and we're almost at the 50-yard line. I'm going to go for this. So Cohen's going to roll out to the left. Here's some pressure coming, and nobody's going to get to that one. So we do turn the ball over on down. So they get the ball back. A minute and a half left in the third quarter, and Moore's going to find Lewis. Nice touch pass that time, getting past the 50-yard line. So now there's only a minute left in this third, and Moore's going to feel the pressure one more time, and he's going to throw into traffic, and this one is going to be picked off by Cohen. Look at this catch. He catches it, bobbles it, and keeps 1 foot in bounds. What nice coordination that time by Cohen. So now this Marquette offense comes back out, and Alex Brown continues to stay hot. 172 as a team up to this point. Alex Brown, 150 points through 150 yards through 3 quarters. And here we go, man. Our offense is starting to get going, and Marquette on offense past the 50-yard line. Here is Cohen finding his receiver that time, the freshman Oliver, getting the nice gain on that one. So on a 2nd and 10 inside the 20-yard line, Cohen is going to roll out to the right, have an open lane to run, but he's going to slide inside the 5-yard line. So we get it down. We get stuffed on a couple plays, but on a 4th and 1, giving it to Alex Brown for the 5-yard touchdown run. And Marquette is up by 2 scores at this point. And studio update, look at this. Remember a couple of videos we were talking about Army being unbeatable in the division, but now they lost 2 straight. So Army is starting to lose grip of that first place in the other division in the AAC, and I don't know. I mean, is UCF going to catch them? Is USF going to catch them? I don't know, but they're losing these games, and it's crucial for them to win because, hey, I mean, if they want to play either us or Houston or whoever makes it, they got to take care of business. So here we go. Cincinnati trying to run the ball here. Ramseur stops them there. So on a 4th and 12, 4 minutes left, throwing deep to Josh Dunbar, and he's going to come up with the interception. Josh Dunbar, I said it before the season, he's going to lead our team in picks, but it looks like, Ashton Cohen is actually leading our team in picks. Josh Dunbar is second, though, a close second. But here we go, back out on offense. Oliver goes up the ladder and snags that one in traffic, and he is hype after that one. Look at that. That was thrown up for a prayer, and our freshman comes down with it. So here we are, man. We're just trying to waste some time. We're up a couple scores. We just need to run the ball. So here's Alex Brown getting the ball up the middle, but that's a 4th down, and we get stopped. So now Cincinnati gets the ball back. I don't know about that spot. He may have had it on that one, but can't argue with the Heisman CPU. And look at this. We're almost getting the fumble recovery on that one. So a 3rd and 8. Moore is going to drop back to pass. Have all day to throw, but not enough time. Nunez is going to be in. That's actually Ali Christian's going to be in for the sack. So facing a 4th and 16, they're going to throw to the receiver across the middle, and we're playing man coverage, so the receiver gets to the 1st down marker. So now a minute left in this 4th quarter. Moore is going to find his receiver on the sideline. So 50 seconds left in this game, and Josh Dunbar, that's actually Julius Macklin, allows the receiver to get behind him, Geddes, and they get in for the touchdown. So they have to kick the onside kick, but Kevin Oliver, Mr. Reliable with his hands, gets the recovery. So 45 seconds left, just trying to get a 1st down here. Alex Brown runs the ball to the outside, and that man is gonna be on the ticket for the Heisman come next week. He is just hot. I mean, nobody can stop this man. He's definitely got some national attention. Another 200-yard game for Alex Brown. And on the other side of the ball, Michael Warren has a game of his own, 176 yards off of 14 carries. Look at that yards after contact. 134 yards after contact. He was beasting, but it's just not enough to overcome this Marquette offense, who's just been red hot as of late. Lewis Parker leads the way on defense. Ali Christian with a couple sacks. So hit subscribe, hit that like button, man. We're getting going in this conference play. I mean, we're hot, so we just got to stay hot, because next week we see an old friend of ours.